Tailing a girl without her knowledge. Objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. Just as I'm finally starting to get fed up with following Machina's directionless rambling, which resembled to the random staring of a sleepwalker more than anything else. The rare wandering monster in question comes to a sudden halt. Her resting place is an area on the outskirts of the school courtyard, in front of an artificial cement pond of unattained purpose. Machina totters her way up to the pond, thrusts her hand in the pocket of her skirt to retrieve some half-eaten white bread, and starts tearing off chunks to throw into the water. Every time Machina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, a loud slashing sound resonates from the surface of the water. Apparently someone stocked it with fish, and she's feeding them. She's fattening them up to eat. Clawfish? Machina looks around the area rapidly, grabs the sawed tree branch lying nearby, then leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking into the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she's trying to capture a crawfish she spotted in the pond. Aber wie man sehen kann, mit einem schönen Akzent. This looks risky. Given her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon, if I just sit here. I approach Machina from behind and call out to her. Hey, watch out, or you fall in that pond. Es ist eher abzusehen, dass wenn du sie ansprichst, sie sich eher erschreckt und reinfällt auch noch. I guess I shouldn't have called to her out of nowhere. Machina's hand slips off the ground in a stereotypical slapstick pratfall. Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Machina, I firmly seize the collar of her school uniform and pull her back to safety. Dangled by the nape of her neck, like a kitten, Machina lets out a feline cry. You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? There isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I'm always carrying. Given this weight and size, I could lug her a good 25 kilometers in a single day. Oh, sorry. I wasn't planning to call out to you, but it's better than letting you fall into the pond, isn't it? No need to thank me, I did the natural thing, given the circumstances. Look at me shamelessly doing the life-saving hero number, despite being in large part responsible for the problem in the first place. I might have the making of an American politician. Machina gives a quick bow of thanks and without another word starts to run away from me yet again. Hey, hold it. Where do you think you're going? Don't give me her. Why are you running away from me?
別に逃げてないのよ。私に何か用？
When she asks me point blank, it's not like I have any particular justification for detaining her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to be avoided this blatantly at the very least. If there's a reason she's doing this, I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me?
そうじゃないけど。
If there's some reason why you're avoiding me, how about telling me? If possible, I try to address it. Again, with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently, I squat down to match my line of sight with Makinas. Do you remember my name?
風見裕二。
That's right, Yuji's fine.
名前で呼ぶの恥ずかしいよ。
Okay, then call me what you want.
じゃあ、お兄ちゃん。
Onii! I have to say, being called her big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but... Well, alright. Huh? When I turned around in response to the splashing sounds coming from the pond behind me, there are a number of fish gathered at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in a demand for more food. It seems they've come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Makina, you still have breadcrumbs left? Makina thrusts her hand into the skirt pocket and rummages through its contents.
これは違う。これも違う。
As she talks, she pulls things out of her pockets, one after the other. The items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolate, and chewing gum, along with an erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue sticks. Although I've heard that women's pursuits are connected to the fourth dimension, this girl's pockets seem to be connected to a garbage dump. Makina carelessly rains down the rubbish, then emerges to the ground around her. One after the other. What is this? I pick up a plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on the side filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain meaning.
それはダメ。それはチルチルにあげるラムネなの。返して。
I'm not going to steal it or anything. Here, take it. When I hold out the case to her, Makina snatches it back instantly.
これは絶対に食べたらダメなのよ。
I'm not going to sneak bites of other people's food at my age.
そんなこと言って信用できないのよさ。世の中にはそう言っておいてこっそり隠れて食べちゃってすっかりいい気持ちになっちゃった大きいお姉さんもいるのよさ。
Amane, huh?
なんでアマネーだってわかったの？
I didn't. Just saying the first name that popped into my head. It really was her. I guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side.
私から聞いたって言ったら嫌なのよ。ほら、パンをあげるからこれで我慢するのよさ。
Good as her word, Makina shoves some half-eaten bread under my face.
はい、全部食べていいのよさ。いっぱい食べてまるまる太るのよ。
No, I wasn't planning to eat it. I take the bread scraps from Makina, tear off some small pieces and throw them into the pond. The fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranha for the food, messily gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these things were carp, but now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish.
金魚なのよ。去年神社のお祭りで私が救ったのよさ。
From a goldfish snatching game, huh?
そう。
If these were originally goldfish from a scubbing game, they are almost certainly the tiny kind that's sold as live food for carnivorous fish in pet shops, but these things are huge.
毎日餌をあげてたらどんどん大きくなったのよ。
Fish generally can keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you feed them, the bigger you'll get. What exactly have you been giving them though?
パンとか普通に金魚の餌とか暇な時とか休み時間のたびにあげてたのよ。
Also jeden Tag 5-mal mindestens. I get it. You know, fish don't really know when they're full. They don't feel pain the way we do either, so they'll eat as much as you give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out.
そうなの？
The number one causes of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. That's what it said in something I read when I was a kid, at least.
なんて本？
I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. They mention it in some article about raising fish in ozonated water. Ich sollte den Part irgendwann mal wählen, aber ich finde irgendwie keine gute Stelle.
へえ、お魚の本なの？
It had articles on all sorts of things, not just fish, animals, space, whatever. My older sister was a seriously dedicated reader. I'd pick up magazines like that when she was finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the content of the science magazines I read back then, I'd suddenly remember something. Hey, Makina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you?
あるけど、金魚にあげるの？
No, just take it out for now. Also have anything we could use as a string?
お裁縫の木目糸ならあるけど、何するの？
You'll see. Receiving the squid from Makina, I firmly tie one end of the thread around it, and then noose the other end to a tree branch I picked up random.
釣り竿？
Exactly. So now I tossed the squid dangling by the thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I can see the shape of the crawfish Makina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of his face, within a matter of seconds, the crawfish extends his pincers and firmly seizes the bait. There, hooked him, see that?
すげえ！ザニガニ釣れた！
It's a crawfish, not a clawfish. Das ist japanische LR, ja. You've got the word wrong. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of her eyes, Makina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity.
ザニガニ真っ赤だね。
There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have abundant food.
餌が少ないとどうなるの？
They turn blue.
青くなる？
If you take a small newborn crawfish and continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, or sardines that don't contain carotene, it'll turn blue in a month or so.
本当に？
I read it in a book when I was a kid and ended up trying it out myself. There were some that ended up with a lot of violet spots or white flecks, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well.
いいなあ。私もやってみたい。
Okay then, try to catch one yourself. I pulled a captured crawfish off the squid to return to the pond, then had the fishing pole to Makina.
私に釣れるかな？やったことないのよさ。
Irgendwie will ich die Paar nie auf, das ist gerade scheiße. Experiencing new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start by trying to catch one yourself.
じゃあやってみる。
Don't fall into the pond, alright? Also, try to get the smallest one you can.
頑張るのよさ。
Taking the crude pole from me, Makina forcefully hurls the squid into the pond.
ザニガニ釣れるといいな。
I already told you it's crawfish, not
仕
clawfish.
方がないのよさ。私はバカだから。
Is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as snail back then. Back when I was in elementary school for a while, but after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making that mistake. Didn't you have someone to point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for instance?
お母さんは私のこと嫌っているから。
Wie kann man dich hassen? Als Mutter auch noch. I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child was my mother's line, but by now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. I suppose there really are mothers who hate their children. And for those children, that can't be a topic they want to chat about with some stranger. An awkward attempt at consolation would backfire
お
here.
兄ちゃんは優しい人なのね。
Huh? Uh-huh, me? Seems like I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Onii-chan yet. You serious? How am I nice?
私の家族に無関心でいてくれるところ。
Just wasn't interested enough to risk
な
it.
んで嫌われてるのか興味ない？
I stare steadily at Makina's small back, silhouetted against the pond. If you want to talk, I listen.
それは私がバカだから。
Don't they say that kids are cuter when they're a little dumb?
私のバカを侮っちゃいけないのよ。こう見えても私札付きで筋金入りのバカなのよさ。
Ich weiß, warum ich Makina eigentlich mochte. Can't say I've ever heard of anyone with that fierce a reputation for being stupid before. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing but idiots in my vicinity, including me.
私ね、別にお兄ちゃんのことが嫌いで避けてたわけじゃないのよ。逆に嫌われたくなくて、バカな子だなってそう思われないように、なるべく近寄らないようにしてたのよさ。
It's like I said, I'm surrounded by idiots. If I went around hating people for something like that, I'd run out of my supply of hate real fast. Well, there certainly are people who can't hold together their fragile sense of self-worth except by looking down on others. Ich hätte den Part wirklich bei 17 Minuten oder sonst was beenden sollen. Ich glaube, da cutte ich auch einfach. Es wird zu lang. Das ist gerade die Scheißstelle, die ganze Zeit aufzuhören. Even a few true idiots who take those emotions to the extreme become dictators or cult leaders and launch hunts against their inferiors. But why assume you'll be hated over something like that anyway? That way of thinking seems counterproductive. Debase yourself by saying, I'm just an idiot, and you'll just puff up the many self-styled geniuses of the world.
私、あまねみたいに綺麗じゃないし、ユミちゃんみたいに頭良くないし、何の才能もないのよさ。
Du bist wie eine Katze, das reicht, dich zu mögen. There's no point in standing around with your mouth open waiting for talent to fall from the sky. You make your own. No matter what you're doing, the most essential thing is not to give up. Fail as many times as it takes. Keep trying persistently until you can call yourself average. Average is just fine. If you can collect a nice group of average level skills, that's already above average. You've created your own sort of talent. Being a hard worker is a talent in its own right, were my sister's words. And from that group of average skills, you can work to improve further on the things that you think you're suited for. A person blessed with talent, in a manner of speaking, is just someone who found a path well suited to them early on. When you get down to it, people can accomplish nearly anything as long as they don't give up, obviously, but it's true. On the other hand, guys who give up at the first setback will never get anything done. Ich finde schön, dass diese Thematik angesprochen wird gerade und dass Wasser im Hintergrund ist. Denn Wasser kann jede Form annehmen. There's no need to rush. You're still a kind. You've got time. Kind kid, mein Gott. Try out anything and everything. Struggle around as much as you want. I rest my head on Makina's head. With a gentle thump. It's at just the right height for this sort of thing. That's what school is for, right?
そうなのかな?
At the very least, I think the principal wants the school to be that sort of a place. So you might as well throw out your chest and do as many stupid things as you want with pride. Of course, if this girl ends up doing something truly dramatically stupid, the principal will be the one facing the music, so I'm probably overstepping my bounds just a bit here.
じゃあ私、バカでもいいの?
Natürlich sind wir das nicht alle. Why not? Being dumb is fine. In the first place, guys who go around calling themselves geniuses are either weaklings with fragile egos, or jokers using the line to get a laugh. And even if you were some genius, that just makes it easy to mistake yourself for a perfect human and start slacking off. Hairs like that get passed by the torturouses of the world eventually.
そっか。やっぱいい人ね、お兄ちゃん。
Don't get me wrong, I just wanted to try playing the nice guy for a bit. You shouldn't trust me that easily, got it?
知ってるそれツンデレってやつなのよさ。チルチルがいつも練習してるのよ。勘違いしないでよねって。
Oh Gott, nein! How to put this? I'm not sure how I feel about being put in the same boat as that girl. Makina, I think you've got a bite.
おお、なんとしたことか。
Ziehen! No need to rush. Slowly pull it out of the water.
ザリガニ、違う。ザリガニ釣れてる。釣れたのよさ。
See, people can do anything if they try. So don't give up before you start, okay?
なんか自信ついた感じ。このザリガニを部屋に持って帰って青くなるか実験してみたい。
Okay, then you should go to Abune or Sachi and see if you can find an aquarium to raise it in. Make sure only to feed it stuff without carotene.
アジとかイワシ、大根やジャガイモ。
Oh, you remembered? I put my hand on Makina's head and ruffle her hair around roughly.
こう見えても記憶力は結構いいのよ。
Alright, better get that crawfish in the water while it's still in good shape. Don't overfed it, okay?
わかった。ありがとうお兄ちゃん。また遊んでくれる？
Yeah, see you later.
ありがとう。
Makina, still clutching the crawfish, waves her hand cheerfully and takes off at full speed towards the dawn. Thanks, huh? I don't recall doing anything worthy of much gratitude, but regardless, hearing such a happy thanks feels kind of pleasant. Maybe it's because I was raised in an environment where such words were very rare. But I think being able to thank others so freely is also a sort of talent. It probably seems perfectly commonplace to her, so I'm sure she's not even conscious of that skill. I sort of get the feeling she may just be overlooking the talents she does have. I get it. I guess that's what makes her an idiot. They say that idiots don't catch colds, but it's probably more accurate to say idiots don't realize when they've caught a cold. Ich mag die Logik. Ganz einfach. In the same way, because Makina's an idiot, she's probably obvious to her own abilities. Oblivious. Honestly, what a weird girl. But then again, weird people are rarely boring. So I think, basking in the peaceful, sluggish atmosphere Makina left in her wake. Ich weiß nicht, dieses Projekt lohnt sich so manchmal einfach nur komplett Stunde aufzunehmen und dann in Parts zu cutten. Und jetzt kann man den Part auch endlich beenden. Neue Szene und nicht mehr mittendrin. Ich hasse es immer mittendrin aufzuhören, besonders bei so einem Projekt. Ich sage dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Mal gucken, wo ich cutte. 50 Minuten, Alter. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Bis dann. Viel Spaß und tschüss.